Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video, and I just want to stop here and say thank you so much for all the love that I've been receiving in the previous videos, the comments, the likes. They actually keep me going, so keep them coming. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my 10 biggest challenges living in Qatar. I've lived here for 1 year plus, and of course there are those ups and downs that I really just want to share with you. So of course the biggest challenge, if you know a little about me, is that I am a mother and I'm a single mom. So just being away from my daughter, she's still very young, she's 5 years old, and I mean, if I had any way of bringing her here to live with me, that would be just a plus. Many people ask me that, oh, doesn't she miss you? Like, why don't you just bring her over and stay with her there? The answer is, I wish, but it's not possible. You see, there are some conditions, that surround anyone being able to sponsor their close family members to come to this country. First of all, you have to have a marriage certificate, which I don't have yet, unfortunately, but that will be taken care of. And then you have to have a certain salary matrix. You have to earn over 10,000 Qatari riyals per month to be able to, get a residence visa for your family member, which I obviously don't make that much. So I can't. It's that simple. I can't. So I just have to live with that. I have to work and take care of her. So that's a challenge that I just have to find a way of dealing with. Point number 2 is that I have no nightlife. Yeah, and that's because I have a curfew where I stay, the accommodation where I stay. I have to be back by 9:30 p.m. So you can imagine me being a member of the Internationals Doha Albatross member, and they organize some very exciting events, like masquerade night, I don't know, some prom night, and things that you only see in the movie, and you're like, oh my goodness, I really want to be a part of this event, but I can't, because most of them would start at 8 or after 8, and they normally held at West Bay, which is like 30 minutes away from where I'm supposed to take the bus to the accommodation. So what's the point if I be there by 8 and then by 8:30 I have to rush back to make sure I don't miss the bus? So I just have to ignore them, ignore them. And those that I do get to attend, maybe that start from 7, I am constantly checking my watch, like it's almost 8:30, guys, I have to leave. So you miss out on the juicy part of those events. Like, if you haven't watched the video that I posted before about meetups in Qatar, I normally from time to time, maybe twice a month or every week, I attend Spanish conversation classes, and they start at 7, and sometimes they extend way up past 8. Of course, I can't finish the class because I always have to rush back. So if you get what I'm saying, that's a very big challenge. Number 3 is alcohol restriction. I'm not an alcoholic or anything. It's not like I can sit and feel like, oh, I'm craving for alcohol. I can go for months without alcohol. That's not a problem. But the problem comes in when, like, maybe on a Friday afternoon or Saturday, I'm invited by friends, to go out to somewhere like Holiday Inn, and they are drinking. You are surrounded by people that are drinking. I don't have a problem with that also, but the problem is I have to be sipping either water or lemonade. So with every round they say, and just get her whatever it is that she's drinking. So by the end of the day, I'm bursting out with acid, because I've been taking too much lemonade. I'm bursting out with acid. My eyes are burning, my heart is burning, stomach burning, everything. Because I like to live by the rules. I don't want to get into trouble when I'm tested for alcohol and it's positive. No, I can't deal with such kind of drama. So that's a very big challenge for me. I just have to stick to my water or my juice or my lemonade, and just, it's boring sometimes, if you know what I mean. Number 4 is air conditioning. So this country being, of course, a desert country, there is air conditioning literally everywhere. You go to church, you go to the office, you go to the doctors, everywhere there is air conditioning. I come from Kenya. We barely have air conditioning anywhere. Our weather is very agreeable. Kenyans, raise your hands. Very agreeable. And most of the Kenyans, not just me, most of the Kenyans have really a very big problem coping with very low temperatures. You know, because you'll find that the temperature is put at 16. Our room temperature is 28 degrees, my friends, 28. How do I adjust from 28 to 16? So I normally freeze every time I go to the office. Sometimes I sit with a hot water bottle between my legs just to keep myself warm, and I always have to be wearing a coat, you know. I just recently, when I had a problem with my eye, I went to the doctor's office and I was shaking like a leaf. It was so cold, maybe even colder. It was like you're in a refrigerator or something. Like, you can't even understand how human beings survive in that kind of environment. So yeah, the air conditioning is a very major challenge for me. Sometimes when I'm in church, I have to get out, you know, and go and stand in the hot sun, bring my temperature back up, and then go back in. And I always have to carry a sweater, you know, or a light jacket. So number 5, along with the heat, is that I have to carry a scarf, you know, everywhere that I go, to cover my head, you know, just to shield myself from the sun. The challenge is I keep losing the scarves. I will leave the scarf in the taxi, I will leave it at the restaurant, I will leave it anywhere. I came with some really nice scarves from Kenya, and right now I have none of them. I have to keep just buying more, and I keep losing them. Why? Because I can't, you know, they help when it's too cold. You can, you know, just throw a scarf around you, and when it's when it's too cold, yeah, you can use it to throw your to cover yourself, maybe when you're inside the mall or at the restaurant or the church. And then when it's hot, you can use it to cover your head. So what I decided is just I have to work with this very big bag that I can throw in a light sweater and also just keep my scarves in there, because if I'm holding them in my hands, I'll keep losing them, and it's a loss. I mean, another challenge is transportation. You know, thanks to the metro, getting from one point to another it's really easy, and I'm grateful for that, you know. But the metro is still under construction, so there are some routes that are not yet open. So there are some areas that if you want to access, you can't avoid the taxi. You still have to use the taxi, and it is pretty expensive. A distance that would cost you 2 real, which is something like 56 Kenya shillings, by metro, will cost you 1,000 shillings. That will be like 35 or maybe 35, 36 reals. Converts to 1,000 Kenya shillings. That is one way, and you coming back, you have to spend the same amount. It's a really big challenge. It's a lot of money if you're coming from Kenya thinking that you're going to spend like maybe that much 2 days a week. It's a lot. And I'm grateful for the fact that for going to work, I don't have to worry about transport because it's provided by the company. But for, you know, going for my own, you know, social events and all that, it gets really expensive. In fact, if somebody is inviting me out, like, oh, come, let's go for a swim or whatever, or for a movie, I'm like, I'll come if you're going to pay for the taxi. And then once they pay it once or twice, they'll not invite me again. You see my challenge. Point number 7 is chicken intolerance. I have it. It's not like it's a problem to everyone, but I have chicken intolerance. I don't know what substance they put in this broiler chicken, but whenever I have chicken, I get bloated. Then I have so much water weight and constipation, all the crazy things that you can imagine. The problem is everywhere you go, any event, if anyone is going to be offering you food, it's going to have chicken. There's so much chicken in this country. You barely have, you know, meat. So yeah, that's a big problem. Either I have to turn it down and say I'm okay, or I have to eat the chicken and then deal with the consequences later. And this is something that will last for 3 days. And if I have it like today and tomorrow, maybe 3 days in a row, big problem. Big problem for me. For a long time I'll have to deal with these these problems that I've just mentioned. Yeah, so chicken, there's so much chicken in this country, you know. but I can't eat. Point number 8 is, of course, some of the items are not available. You know, like you like sukuma wiki, you'll not get such kind of vegetables around here. And if you do, like a friend of mine buys a batch of some funny kind of sukuma wiki at 19 real. That is more than 500 Kenya shillings, something that will cost 40 shillings in my country. That is crazy, you know what I mean? So I can never buy that. I can never buy that, you know. And leave alone that stuff like makeup. I shared this with you guys in another video about you know, struggles being black in Qatar. I cannot get makeup for, you know, my skin tone, and I have to find somebody maybe who is going home or is coming from home to send, you know. And sometimes those people are not always available. Like right now I've run out of makeup, and it's a big challenge for me. I have to plead with somebody, oh please go to Moy Avenue, blah blah blah, buy this kind, buy that kind, and sometimes they're not always willing to do it. So it's a big challenge. Number 8 is that, you know, you'll always see some really pretty stuff around here, and if you're a mother, you're always just compelled to buy stuff for your kid, maybe nice dresses, toys and stuff like that. And I buy just little by little, maybe at the end of the month, and then I stuff them somewhere. And of course, when I know that somebody is going home, I'll be like, would you please help me get these things over to my daughter in Nairobi? And sometimes they'll be like, yeah, I don't have much space in my bag, but I'll carry it for you. And then when they get there, they tell you that unfortunately, I lost your stuff. I had excess baggage. I left it in the toilet or something, and something that cost you so much, and not like you're going to get it back. And what can you do? You know, what can you do to them? Will you ask them to pay you back? You can't. It's gone like that. Like I recently lost something of very great sentimental value that I had bought for my daughter, and I still feel bad about it. And the lady that I sent just told me that unfortunately I had excess baggage. Maybe I left it in the toilet. She doesn't even know if she did or not. I don't know how true that is, but it's just really hurtful, and that's a very big challenge. If you're working with Qatar Airways and you go regularly to Kenya, we need to talk. You can be useful actually. Maybe if you're an honest person, you can help me whenever I maybe want to send stuff back at home. The last point is my hair. This is not actually a challenge, but maybe it could be depending on how you take things. So I happen to be the only black person in my office. There are 26 of us. So these people are not used to seeing, you know, African hair. And if you're an African, you know that our hair can really do magic. If you want to see some magic, you can check that out. The shrinkage is real. So I like doing, you know, exploring different stuff with my hair. I like to change hairstyles. I can do it every day, different hairstyles every single day. And the thing is, these guys can't just keep up. You know, they're like, oh, is that your hair? Did you cut your hair? Can I touch your hair? Oh, so what hairstyle is this? How do you call it? Not every hairstyle has a name. I'm a creative person, and I can just wake up and decide to do it like this, like that, like those. I don't have a name for that. I don't get offended. I just find it really funny. But they'll keep, you know, coming up with those questions, and they'll be like, oh, so what's the next thing with your hair? You know. What's the next thing with your hair? And they'll be like, oh, hairstyle number 1. Oh, this is hairstyle number 2, number 3, number 4. Anyway, I'm used to that. It's just really funny, but you get what I'm saying. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I really would like to hear your comments below of whatever struggles that you are facing, maybe in a different country. What are your struggles? I just like to read them and relate. And of course, again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so by clicking the subscribe button down below and turn on your notifications so that you are alerted whenever I upload a new video. And I love you guys so much. You are my family, and I see you on the next one.